Okay, we are back. Loving the skin I'm in, Donovan, Saadiq, and my partner in crime, DK, who you can hear on Sundays at 3 p.m. Also, a new show that we started is called Daryl Terrell's 2 Cents. That's Mr. Moreno Valley Daryl Terrell. He talks about hope, inspiration, and things that keep you going as you live inside this matrix. Also, Pastor Don has his show. Great show. A lot of stuff that's going on in the local news here in Moreno Valley, California. However, this segment we have called Kenneka Jenkins, or is it Kenneka Martin?
Oh my goodness.
So, Dee, please let me know, how do you know this case? What do you know that's Jenkins?
I heard it's Kenneka Jenkins. Kenneka
Okay.
Martin is new to me, but I know her mother's name is Martin.
Right. Now, how many Facebook aliases do you have?
One.
Because according to the Facebook bylaws, you're supposed to have one profile with your real name and whatever, unless you're doing a political organization.
I got one.
Right, you got one. Now, let me give this disclaimer for those that might be listening or watching me on video. We're trying to have a discussion, and this is an opinion show. Dee gives her opinion, I give my opinion, and in the comments, you can give your opinion. If you start talking crazy, I'm going to block you. Because we don't need that. We're all trying to solve this. We're all trying to keep this young lady's name in front of the press, possibly to get the FBI to get involved, because the case has been closed for 2 weeks.
Which is amazing that it has been closed.
I don't know how you can close the case when the tapes have obviously been edited. I mean, all these things that just keep coming up. And it wasn't for people like you guys that are watching this show and other shows. This would be just a black girl dead.
Right.
In my opinion, that's the way it would go. It'd be like, oh, another nigga dead. There it is. So please, like I said, I'm not above being, commented on. People call me all kinds of stuff. They mostly call me Denzel, but that's okay. Why are you laughing? So,
I didn't know that.
Yes. So please. So please let's be adults. Let's comment, because this is a serious thing. A young girl lost her life. Now, critically thinking, my opinion is this, and I've told you this very much, Dee, that this girl lived in a gang-infested lifestyle. She also was raised in a gang. You are a product of your environment. There's a lot of people that make comments that say, that don't mean she can't make it. Nobody said that.
That's how they say it.
Yeah, these black women, when they come at you for, there's no reason to talk like that. Just, hey, search your opinion, whatever it is. Nobody said you can't make it. I'm an example of coming from nothing to where I'm at.
Balling.
Well, I'm not balling, but I'm getting there. After my court case Monday, I was balling.
Oh, God.
but
Dee. Don't run your ass over in the parking lot.
Yeah, but Dee is a example of how you could have it all and lose it.
Yeah, the opposite. Rags. Rich is the rags.
Which is the rags. So you are a product of your environment. There's all kinds of stories of athletes, these people that come from nothing, and they make it in the NBA, the WNBA, whatever, that dropping mixtapes. You see people out there selling their mixtapes and their
What
CDs.
you know about some mixtapes?
What? I was one of Eazy-E's first customers when he was selling it at the Compton swap meet out of his trunk of his car.
Yeah, you probably still have it too.
I still do. Anyway, and that's when Ruthless Record was on Malico Records.
Oh, okay. Watch out now with your old ass.
Yeah, so a lot of us don't know what Malico Records is about. That had Johnny Taylor and all them, the old school boys on it.
God.
So that goes way back. So they weren't on Priority yet. So the Priority Ruthless Priority. Anyway. So anyway, with this story with Kenneka Jenkins, this girl has, and this is why I say there's a lot of inconsistencies. Somebody came up to me, Dee, and they had said, oh, she is now an angel up in heaven with everybody else.
That's how they said it?
Well, no, they said like that.
Oh, my God.
But that's the way it felt. They made it seem like this girl was this innocent person. And I'm not here to bash her. What I'm saying is I responded to the lady and I said, she's innocent based on what?
Well, maybe she meant she's innocent in that she didn't deserve to die.
Right. No, I agree with that. Nobody deserves. I don't care how evil you are. You don't deserve to die like that. But there's constant videos of her flipping people off and doing certain things and blah.
I mean, she was a bad seed, probably a nuisance. But in the larger scheme of things, I don't think she deserved to be in the freezer.
No, nobody deserved to be in this freezer.
But I do get where you're going. Oftentimes people will paint people who maybe weren't so good while they were alive as also now these deities.
Right. Oh, they're in heaven with the Lord. They're in heaven with Jesus. So, yesterday was Halloween.
Mm-hmm.
Is it kind of ironic that Dr. Oz had Kenneka's mom and her sister on the show?
Well, I don't have TV, but when you told me about it, I thought, what? Dr. Oz? I mean, because when I think of Dr. Oz, I think about him telling you about herbs and all these other things that help you, to be healthy and blah, blah, blah. But to hear it, so why were they on Dr. Oz?
Well, basically, to me, this is my opinion, was, to keep awareness of Kenneka's thing. And Dr. Oz being a doctor, no matter where this lady goes, they keep giving her the same narrative. Like, well, it was an accident medically, she died of hypothermia.
That's what Dr. Oz was saying?
Yeah, he was he was doing the doctor thing, saying,
Yeah.
well, she had this in her system, she had that in her system. These all attributed to her death. It was a bad accident. But guess who else was on the show?
Who?
Nancy Grace.
Oh,
Nancy
Grace saying?
Nancy Grace says there's something more going on to this.
Yeah,
thing.
Nancy Grace is gonna bring out the conspiracy.
Yeah, the conspiracy thing too.
She doesn't have a show anymore, huh?
No, she's they retooled.
Yeah.
And you know how the Republicans go on the Democratic show and the Democrats go on the Republican show. It's all Operation Mockingbird.
I used to like Nancy Grace. To me though, when she was going hard against Michael Jackson, talking about he's guilty.
He's guilty.
And when he got found out guilty, the look on her face was like,
how that man escaped. But logically thinking, if really thinking, I firmly believe she was a member of a gang, if not by association.
Mm-hmm.
Her father, she was a gang princess, or however you want to call it. The guerrilla mafia, all these things that are going on. She was associated with gang because if you see in pictures, she's flashing up signs. She goes by Kenneka Jenkins. She goes by Kenneka Martin. Why the aliases?
maybe her daddy was a Jenkins and her mom was a Martin.
Right, but why have two? Why can't you just hyphenate your name or whatever you're going to do? Why have two different things that have two different?
Well, just to kind of play devil's advocate
Which
here,
you always do.
I don't know if she was using that as an alias because I've never even heard of the name Kenneka before. Mm-hmm. So it's not like Kenneka's in a very used name. I've never.
Right, no, I understand that. Yeah. But what I'm saying is, in the other page that she uses Martin, all the people that were at that party, there's like 360 around Kenneka. These people are all linked to it. And in the Kenneka Martin page, you see her at a younger age, maybe 3 or 4 years ago. She's flashing all these new bills of money and stuff like that. Now you're from the south side of Chicago, and you're selling drugs. Okay? You're not going to make that kind of money. And not only was she doing it, Monifa was doing it. The other girl was doing it.
So where do you think this money is coming from?
I think, like I said, this is a cartel of people. The Man, I was watching a lot of Pam Grier movies. The Man, it's not beyond imagination that if I was the Man, I'm going to use these lower level people to do my dirt work and, sell drugs and, mess up the community and pay them to do certain things. Organ harvesting. I think that's a very real thing that is going on up there.
So you think maybe they were involved in organ harvesting?
Well, why not? Because if I was the Man and I see these Negroes out here killing each other, okay, we just, this person's dead over here. Let's go get this body. Let's go harvest this. Or if we can bring these people to...
So what has Kenneka and her homies got to do with that?
They're at the lower level where they could bring people in to be set up. They're young girls coming into their thing. I'm an old guy traveling. I disappear. It's happening all the time. You give them to a central location and, things happen. If you looked at the death photos, and we showed at the last show, notice that her teeth were cracked in something, and her lip was, busted and stuff like that. How do you close a case? And regardless if you agree with what I'm saying or if you don't agree with what I'm saying, one thing we do agree with is something happened to this girl.
Yeah, even just the photos of her pants being unbuttoned and stuff. It's like, okay, that doesn't look like she just walked into a freezer and died. It looked like something happened to her before that happened.
Right, and Dr. Oz, once again, is on this show saying, well, in hypothermia, your body heats up as it shuts down, and she took off her clothes. It's like, okay, well, you're saying it, her clothes, she should have been naked. They should have took off her clothes. Her clothes weren't completely off of her.
Yeah, like her pants were just down or open, yeah.
And then there's a video where you see Monifa and, what's her name, Mashaya, or whatever her name, the other girl. Mm-hmm. And it looks like they're carrying Kenneka, Like if you're this way and I'm this way, so you're backwards to the camera, and these people know more than what they think they know.
Is her mother now conceding to the fact that maybe her friends did have something to do with her death?
In the interview, on the radio interview, as well as in on the radio interview for sure, she said that everybody's a suspect. And she said that what her daughter's friends did was the trust, the loyalty was not there. They should have been more loyal to her daughter. Because you don't leave a person that's in a condition like that, you know. I mean, God forbid, it's like if you were inebriated, right? We're at a party. Now, I know your man Al is in Houston because they said supposedly she was crying over her boyfriend being locked up. Why are you dating these gangsters? I mean, that's a...
Yeah.
If I'm going to date a gangster as a woman, I should know this motherfucker's going to be locked up most of the time.
This should be a short-term relationship
right
here.
Right,
Yeah.
you know, and...
Don't put your feelings in it.
Right. So... If you're, you know, I'm not going to leave you in a state where you can be taken advantage of, because I know you're in a state where you can be taken advantage of.
Right.
So basically, the mother was saying that the loyalty, everybody's still a suspect. She has her faculties about her now a little bit more, because like you said, Jebediah, the guy with the baseball hat that keeps. It's just a big mess. Everybody came in to make money, and you know now she wants to bring things to it. But see, to me, by her acting the way she did earlier in the case. She let them close this case when she could have been, you know, bringing in people and saying, I need help. And, you know, she's asking for help now.
Yeah.
But you know and I know, once the man closes the case, they ain't going to go back into it for nothing.
Yeah, it's probably pretty much a done deal, even though Ray Charles can see something happen to this child. She didn't just walk into no freezer. Something happened to her before then. And,
you know, and it's unfortunate that all these, like I said, I don't understand how any law enforcement agency, even if the FBI is not requested, an FBI official that is looking at what is going on, the tapes are being edited, there's something wrong with the way this body's positioned, there's something more, you can step in without even just take over the case and give this woman justice, you know, and let this girl do her thing. But I do have a problem with people over here sitting at, you know, oh, she's this angel. That is not the case. I am in this basically for the simple fact that whatever happened to her was a crime and it needs to be solved.
Right. Well, absolutely. Anytime somebody is murdered, it should be solved, and not just saying, well, we think what had happened to her was, and that's the final official word when it's like, okay, you're saying she just froze to death. However, her teeth are chipped, her pants aren't buttoned, she's missing some socks
there's
or something.
There's stuff in her system that shouldn't be in her system.
Yeah, it's more than just, you know, some
videos are being edited. People are disappearing.
Right.
So there's a little bit more to it. But remember when I said when this initially happened, remember I said the mother isn't acting like a mother. You know, isn't acting. I'm not saying the grieving part, but I'm just saying these are certain things that you would be demanding. You wouldn't be protesting the hotel. You would be protesting the police department.
Well, I think, too, you know, again, none of us have had a child, neither one of us in here, had a child who's been murdered or died. So it's kind of hard to say how the mom should react. However, I do agree with you in that she should have had people who are more conducive to her cause on the team.
Right.
You know, like I said, she had this Jebediah dude and the other dude who...
Jim Brown.
Damn, Jim Brown. But those type of people who were obviously more interested in their own
financial gain, right?
Yeah, instead of having somebody say, listen, Miss Jenkins or Miss Martin, is, you know, she's not able to speak. However, I'm going to speak for her. It is our, you know, goal to find out what happened to this child, blah, 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 instead of allowing her to go out there and just speak from happenstance.
Right,
you know?
happenstance, and, and stay focused on getting the answer. Remember I said that?
Yeah.
I said this woman should be focused on finding out the truth of what happened to her daughter.
And as always, you know, you got these ambulance chasers out there, which is what some of those activists were. They were ambulance chasers, in that they wanted to get the fame and they wanted to be there speaking for it. In the beginning, you know more than I do, but it was all that confusion of who was speaking and who got the word and who talked in the hotel and who saw the body and all this other stuff.
Recently, Jebediah, who saw the radio interview, he put her on blast, talking about she don't get no grieving mother pass with me because she's talking about me. I mean, it's a big mess.
You know what? For those of you guys who are not familiar with what I'm about to say, that's some nigga shit.
Nigga shit.
You know, and it's jealousy in that, you know, well, now she's going on and getting this real national attention. She's going on these radio shows.
Right.
She's going on Dr. Oz.
Which is what she should have done in the very beginning.
But so then you have these activists who are now feeling like, well, I was there with you in the beginning, so I should be getting some of this limelight. Mm-hmm. And, of course, I honestly think that a lot of these activists did take advantage of her. Sure. Now, like you said, now that she's coming back into her right mind, she's able to speak to those things, and now they're like, oh, now she's throwing me under the bus. Now that bitch don't. I'm going to throw her under the bus. Just shut up. It's not your child.
Yeah. And like I said, I give her all the credit. Like I said, I wouldn't continue to be talking about this if I didn't really want this woman to get justice and closure. I'm still an advocate.
I will say I noticed with your tone, though, that your tone about Teresa has changed. Mm-hmm. Because in the beginning, like you said, when she was, high live and all this other stuff, you were kind of like, what's wrong with this woman? Yeah. But since you've seen her sort of do a 360 in that, okay,
and clean up the Facebook pages and to come into her.
You're speaking more favorably of her.
No, I didn't really mean to, if I came out that way. The fact of the matter is something wasn't right. I know she's grieving, but at the same time, if you want answers how you were going about it, I've been with the man for a long time, and I know how they operate. You're not going to get any justice knocking on doors and being on the outside looking in. I'm not saying sell out, whatever. There's a process to everything. Use that process.
Right.
You live right there in Chicago. Where are the Chicago congressmen? The Illinois congressmen?
They don't give a shit about that.
But you know what I'm saying? But by using that process versus local Ray on the side, that's the advocate, that's not going to get you anywhere.
They honestly don't care. And it's easy not to care about somebody who is, like I said, I'm not saying anything bad about Teresa. I mean, some people might look at me and say I'm ratchet, but it's hard for these so-called dignitaries to maybe have compassion for her because they look down on her. But she's got the red hair.
No, and I understand that.
I'm not saying it's right, but that's just what I'm looking
at. But
this
is a national. This could have been a national news story from the very beginning.
She was white, though.
Right? No. Yes. But what I'm saying, though, if she had followed the proper protocol, the procedures of doing this, she could have been on those radio stations a long time ago. There's a lot of black radio stations that picked this up.
Yeah, she was just doing it. There's a lot of noise and fire.
Yeah, because if you think about it, this story would have been dead if internet viewers that are watching this show right now hadn't kept it going.
Right. And a lot of people, we talked about this before, talk bad about the Facebook detectives, saying they don't know what's going on, but it's kudos to those people
that
like
stayed
yourself,
with it.
Who stayed on top of it, keeping the story before the people.
Right, because eventually, when all this stuff is being exposed, somebody's going to have to answer to this and say, wait a minute, hold on.
Right.
The biggest question that I would have for Mrs. Martin would be, did you get a second autopsy? I believe she did, and they're waiting for the results of that.
Oh, well, that's good if she did, yeah.
Yeah, because for her not to do it before they put that girl on the ground would have been a travesty in her case.
Thank God they did if she did, yeah.
So, but like I said, do I believe that this girl was gang affiliated? Yes, I do. Do I believe that, she ran with people that are of questionable means? Yes, I do. You're smoking, you're 19 years old, you're underage drink. It's obvious that this girl was in rebellion, like a lot of young people do. We've done it.
Right.
She made a bad decision, and it's cost her life, and maybe even her friends betrayed her, and they know more than they do. I do believe that because these videos are coming out. So I just thought it was ironic that she's on his show on Halloween night.
Or you think there was a significance with Halloween and her being on the show?
I just think to bring the macabre of what happened to this girl, that macabre thing, like, okay, it's Halloween, everybody. This girl was snatched up and we don't know what happened to her.
Yeah, if that's true, then, I think we should be a little bit more aware in that we're being used for that
ratings
purpose. Yeah, I don't know, but I guess if Dr. Oz is pretty big time, so you can get on the show, on the show.
And I believe she was on there for 15 or 20 minutes, and with her lawyer. Thank God. Bring your lawyer with you because again, she's not one of those that speaks.
Yeah, that's what she should have been doing in the first place. Having all those. Yeah,
that speaks very well and do that. So we're going to keep you guys updated on that. Again, props to those guys that are keeping it up. This is my opinion. She has her opinion. You have your opinion. All opinions are valid until we know the facts.
Yeah, or all opinions are opinions until the facts come forward.
Exactly. Until we know the facts.
And the great thing about opinions is that everybody's entitled to one.
Right. Just like an asshole.
I don't know if everybody has one. No, I'm just like.
So we want to keep that going. A lot of guys out there, straight drop, whatever. But let me give you guys just a real look at a clip of Miss Jenkins in the radio interview and Dr. Oz. So just take a look at this. So good luck to Mrs. Martin, and like I said, she's supposedly cancer free. I mean, this woman went through a lot in a short period of time.
Good.
So I mean, to go through that, to recover from that, that would have killed probably the most average person.
Well, and they say that there's always something good out of something bad. Now, I would hate to have to experience what she experienced as far as losing a child, but I mean, sometimes it takes certain things like that to make you make you have a paradigm shift, and make you maybe reflect and say, okay, this is how I used to live life.
Yes. Is
there something I should be doing differently on this portion of my life? I got a second chance. I'm cancer free. Have I always done things, or the way I was supposed to? Questionable. I mean, who knows? Right. So now that I'm cancer free, unfortunately, I'm without my child. I'm not going to let my struggle and what I've been through go in vain. Maybe I am not going to change my life around and be a little bit more reputable, whatever that means. And, bring awareness to whatever has happened to her.
And that's exactly what she said. If she can help another family avoid a loss like this, she said that's why another reason why she's out there promoting, know who your friends are.
Absolutely.
Know your surroundings.
I love that.
She's taking a negative and trying to use it as a positive.
I love it because, like I said, unfortunately, she had to lose her child. But I think all of us as parents, nobody's perfect. But there are certain things I think you should be doing, and that is continuously being in your child's life.
Advising and teaching.
Right. And not being afraid to snatch them into a knot if you need to.
Yeah, teaching is a lifetime commitment, and that's what you're supposed to be doing. And here's a teachable moment for those that are listening. Now, this woman lost her child. She was from Chicago. This is just my opinion. You have money for weave. You have money to get this girl's nails done. You have money for tattoos. You have money for piercings. You have money for beer. You have money to go buy tapes or whatever else you're doing. But you didn't have insurance on your child to bury her.
Well, yeah, we speak about insurance a lot on this show, and even some on my show.
Yeah, we got to.
It's just something that in the Black community we know we need, but it's like, I mean, I used to sell life insurance. I don't sell it anymore. But I used to sell it, and I say all the time, you'd be surprised the excuses I would hear. Oh, well, shoot, I could be doing something with that. Or that's a bill. Or, in some communities, I don't want to leave her rich. I don't want her to have no other man up in here while I'm gone. And all this other stuff. Or I just simply can't afford it. But as you say, and I would sit in some of these people's houses, I'm like, okay.
You get the flat screen.
You got all these flat screens. You got cable. So that's, a bill. The kids are nicely, sharply dressed. Not saying they shouldn't be.
Got the Jordans, the latest Jordans.
Yeah, but if you can afford that kind of stuff, surely you can afford a couple of bucks for life insurance. But life insurance is something you don't know you need until you need it.
And I'm going to tell you guys this, and I don't understand why people are still banking at banks that crashed the economy. A lot of you lost your homes because of banks, and you still put your money there. You need to become members of a credit union.
Because you're a member.
Yeah, because you're a member, and they will give you $2,000 or $3,000 in life insurance just because you're a member.
Right. I mean, something is better than nothing. You're not going to be able to bust a grape with $2,000, but it's something.
But you add another dollar to it if you want to increase it. Yeah. $1 a month, that's $10,000.
Right. It's something. Yeah, I mean, so to your point, there's never an excuse not to have it. My father always says, we beg for what we want and buy. Yeah. No, we buy what we want and beg for what we need. And so that's what it is when it comes to life insurance. When you don't have it, and then somebody, God forbid, dies.
Car wash.
Okay, get those buckets. You know how to fry some chicken, so we gonna sell some plates and GoFundMe. And I did a presentation that says how many car washes does it take to have a funeral.
Right.
The answer is you don't know. You can be out there indefinitely with some soap and buckets trying to bury your child. Now, when I would see people asking for donations through a life insurance, for life insurance, if I had the money on me, I would give it whatever I had. But in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, how many life insurance agents tried to sit down with you, or you sat down with and you thumbed your nose at them? That's a bill.
Right. But I mean, that little vice, like I said, the credit union gives me $3,000, and I'm a member of 2 credit unions. And I get life insurance from both
Because
of
you're
them.
balling.
Well, I get money from both of them, whatever the deal is, and I put, I just said, well, $3,000 for free, that's great. Let me just give $1 a month. I'm not even going to miss that.
Right.
And it's $10,000.
Right.
So if you combine both credit unions, that's $20,000 if I died today. That's not including the insurance I have.
Right.
already.
Outside of that, right.
See, and it's just $1.
Well, I mean, even for people who are, maybe financially challenged, hell, you can get a term life insurance for next to nothing. You can, up it when you do better or, change the type of a policy. Mm-hmm. But, I mean, like you said, there's the policies out there for next to nothing, but at least you will be protected in a time of death.
And as a parent, if I have a child that's, especially a minor child, but even if they're in the age of 18 to 25, I'm going to keep insurance on them because we know things happen. And
yeah, when my daughter be 25, I've had her insured since she was a child. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to keep her insured until as long as I can do that. Right. Because, she may get married in the future or whatever the case is. But, let's just say I did have a job where I punched the clock and my daughter, God forbid, she passed away. A lot of times people don't realize is when you have a job, you get 5 days bereavement, 3 are paid and 2 are not. And so how many times, does it take you longer than 5 days to grieve?
Some people it does.
Yeah, most people it does. Mm-hmm. And so here you are, oh my gosh, such and such just died.
And then you have the financial thing to add into that.
Yeah.
On top of that, how am I going to pay for this?
My husband just died, but my job is giving me 5 days off. 3 of those are paid, 2 are not. And yeah, I got to plan a funeral, and then somewhere in between there, I got to grieve. So I'm going to tell you like this. If something were to ever happen to somebody I love dearly, I'm going to need some time off. Especially if it happened to my child or my man, I need to go to the nearest state hospital and be able to rock in there. But know that my bills are taken care of.
Right.
A lot of people can't do that.
Right.
So
and I know people saying, "Oh, they're trying to sell you something." We're not trying to.
Hey, listen, we don't have a license to do that.
Yeah, we don't have a license to do that. We're trying to sell you. You're right. Advice and give you something so you don't be in a situation like this. This woman's child dies, and then she's begging for help to bury the girl.
And to your point, not to be judgmental, a lot of people will say that, well, damn, on every Facebook picture I see on Instagram, y'all got all the hair, and I know those bundles weren't cheap, and you got the Jordans and the nails and the lifestyle, y'all popping bottles and all this other stuff. And it's not to be judgmental. No. It's more or less like, listen, if you asking for my money, I think I have a right to ask why you need my money. Or why were you so irresponsible with your money? And as an ex-life insurance agent, I would often wonder that. I can't tell y'all how many times I had people call and say, oh, my mama just died. We found this policy. Want to make sure it's still good. I'm sorry your mom let the policy lapse. A year ago. You guys are crooks and you things. You knew your mama was sick or whatever. How come you didn't check to see she was good?
And the thing is, you know what? I mean, I only give $1 to those credit unions because I bank at another, another credit union. Where my main money comes in. But technology, it's a lot of, I don't even miss it. It automatically goes, so my policy will never lapse because it automatically is going there.
That's how I do it. Mine's automatically set up, so I don't have to be like,
yeah, every month, let me write this out. No, just, automate it. But, we're giving you guys advice. So, there's nothing worse to be caught in a situation like that. Now, what if this lady was so desperate to bury her daughter that they made her sign a waiver to where she will never know the truth of what happened to her daughter?
Yeah, I mean, who knows?
Right, who knows? I'm going to keep harping that until people stop relying on GoFundMes and car washes to get their loved one buried.
And what a lot of people, since you brought up the issue of life insurance, we got a little time to kill. A lot of times people don't realize the younger you are, the more healthier you are, the less it's going to cost you for a life insurance policy. Because life insurance companies make money if you live, not if you die. There's no money in for them. So the longer you're going to live, the longer you're going to pay for that policy. Right. So get the policy while you're healthy. You're young, you can pay a couple bucks for for life if you want to, the same amount.
That Starbucks you get once a week, just once a week, just $5, whatever it is. And that's a good example because like right now, I'm 47 years old. Do you know for me to get new life insurance or like that, they want me to go through all this battery of testing?
Because you're older.
Right. When I was younger, I didn't have to go through all that.
Yeah, I mean, depending on how much you got. But as you're older, hell yeah, you're a man, first of all, so men die sooner than women. You guys typically have more health problems. So, yeah, we need to per the morbidity rate or table, we need to make sure that you're going to live. So yeah, let's get some blood, let's get some urine, let's look into all your medical records and see what you've been through, and then we'll insure you, and we'll decide how much. It's probably going to cost you a lot if you've been through a lot.
And then for all of you guys that are listening to the show around the country, around the world that work for Walmart, are you aware that Walmart is smart enough to make money off of you by putting life insurance on their employees?
Yeah, and I forget what they call it, but it's almost, well, some companies call it like a key person. So, or you get our insurance on your partner. If they die, okay, then the business can continue without you. They, break off your loved ones or whatever. Or actually the money is for them. Hopefully your wife has insurance on you. Right,
exactly. And so you got corporations that are taking out policies on their employees and their employees' loved ones. And if that person dies, oh, well, that's $50,000. And
especially something like Walmart, they know you got a high stress level because Walmart ain't paying you right. You probably got to go bust 2 or 3 more gigs after that.
Right. You live in a socially economically depressed area.
You're stressed. Stress is the number one killer.
So they're betting odds to make money off of you. So if you work for them or not, they're going to make money off you, and a lot of Walmarts are doing that.
It really is about educating yourself. Just a real quick life insurance story. There was a gentleman at the life insurance office that I work for, and actually an agent sold his family life insurance on him. He was 25. The policy cost him about $25 or so. Wrote the insurance policy on, I think it was for like $50,000. He was approved for the life insurance. His family got the $50,000 and they only made 1 payment. So
it's a gamble.
I'm not saying to kill people,
it's a gamble,
that, but life insurance does pay off. Now, God forbid they didn't have insurance on their child. He was 25, but somebody thought he was, it was a worthy cause to have him insured. 3 days later, he went and got killed.
I'm kind of glad we're talking about this on the show, because here's what I want to do. Since you did sell life insurance and you have a wealth of knowledge about this. If I lived in a place like Chicago or 5th Ward or the 9th Ward, these bad, somewhere in New York, the bad places, Compton, whatever. The likelihood of my child or somebody being killed in that area is really great. How did a lot of white people keep their wealth or even accumulated wealth?
Well, a lot of white people accumulated wealth through slavery.
Well, no, but I'm just saying.
No, I know. Life insurance is a vehicle to pass on wealth or a legacy. So a lot of times people will get just the bare minimum. Well, how much is a funeral? I don't know, roughly 10 to 12,000 or more, depending on how big you want to go. Okay, that's all I want. Okay, but do you know for a couple, and I'm role playing here, but do you know for a couple dollars more or so, you can actually bury your loved one, plus leave a little bit of, something or a legacy for your loved ones. And that's what a lot of people do. They look at life insurance as a legacy. You know what, if I pass on, I want to leave you guys something. Maybe you want to start a business. Maybe you just want to have some money and go travel. I don't know. But I'm going to leave you a legacy as opposed to leaving you dead.
Right, leaving you dead. Why is it, do you think that in our community, we do not, you and I both know our community alone is the 10th biggest consumers in the world. This economy is based on us.
Well, I want to say that we're the number 1 consumers in the world.
I've seen that stats, not the world. Because China has 1 billion.
Okay, well, we're pretty close. We are consumers and not producers.
And, we are trendsetters as well. So a lot of the items are geared to what we like.
A lot of people steal from us. Go ahead.
So, but why is it that, we don't, we can have all this wealth and it's like a couple of dollars and we don't leave a legacy for our children, and we don't, we just, to hell with you, okay, just go make it.
Because it's a few things to it, but you're talking about a people who have been conditioned and used to struggling. Just, not always, as we always talk about after slavery, during the Jim Crow era, Black people were the most productive. We had our own thing, but we were used to living on scraps, the bare minimum. You want to break it down to the food we eat, even in slavery, that we were given the scraps. We were given the leftovers, which is why we, not me
chitlins.
Or you, we eat the chitlins, the hog mogs, and the hog head cheese, and just
greens. You're supposed to be plain greens, not eating them.
We eat that kind of stuff. So we're kind of used to that, to kind of getting by on very little.
Right.
And a lot of it has to do with not really knowing our worth.
See, that's what I'm saying. But we keep getting by. When are we going to get over
we're going to get over, and I'm talking to y'all good people, black people are going to get over when we stop giving away 97% of our wealth to other people. Black people and overall see $1.3 trillion a year in the United States alone. We have $1.3 trillion of buying power, but we give 97% of that away to everybody else. I often post videos of now you're starting to see the rise of sleeping giant. The black people are now boycotting the Koreans and anybody else who has been wronging black people who will come
Not
set
really.
up shop.
A lot of those sisters are still getting their weaves.
Yes,
so,
but we're making progress of these people who come set up shop on purpose in the black community, suck out all the money. Not only suck out the money, but they treat us bad.
Choke us out.
So so now you're seeing these boycotts, active boycotts, and they are actually successful in shutting these businesses down, or actually just running them out. Go to your neighborhood with that nonsense. Go to Koreatown and do the shit you're doing to us. See, I don't know if they're able to do that there, but we are being successful, and so we are starting to wake up. But when we stop giving our money away, our power, that's when we're going to start seeing progress.
Right, and I understand that, and that's a good point. But I want to address this point mostly to women. Okay, I'm a young.
Watch out now.
Yeah, no, I'm a young woman. Unfortunately, I got on welfare. I followed my friends or my mom or whatever, lived that lifestyle. Now, even though I'm on welfare, I could still get my family out of welfare if I put insurance. Now, I'm not saying you hope your child dies, but just in case something happens.
Well, the thing is, and I get where you're going with that, the thing is for welfare, it's supposed to be a temporary thing. It's supposed to help you get
But we know
off
it's a
your
lifestyle
feet.
now.
Well, it's become a lifestyle, and a lot of that is because we don't know who we are, and a lot of it is through conditioning, and a lot of politics involved are geared toward keeping us certain people on welfare, making it to where, okay, here, you can get housing, get food stamps, you get cash aid, any of that kind of stuff, making it very easy.
And we'll incarcerate your man for not paying.
Right, and so, there's a lot involved with that, but to me, it's a mental state. I mean, welfare is, I don't see how anybody survives on welfare.
Well, they don't. And you can see that. There's nobody that does survive. But what I'm saying is, like in the Kenneka Jenkins or Miss Martin situation, this woman had 6 kids. I believe half of the kids, or at least 2 of them, are dead. And she still lives in the same neighborhood. And I sometimes wonder, like, does she have insurance on it? If you're going to have that many children, and just, okay, you have 6 kids, let's say it's $60 a month to cover all those kids. Isn't that a small price to pay? It is
a small price to pay. However, to me, it's not really as much about money as it is a conditioning of your state of mind, because this is the thing, too. A lot of times we always talk about moving away from the hood instead of staying and bettering where we're at, because ultimately, black people need to be together. I always say this, and I'm not the only one that says this, but integration is one of the worst things that happened to black people.
Absolutely.
Once we were able to go and be free to roam about the country, we forgot who we were.
They took our dollars. They said that green is as good as this green.
Right. We left our communities and our way of living.
And we're still doing it.
Those
upward Negroes are still separating themselves from the rest of us. Look, I'm over here. I'm in Bowling Green.
Those special blacks.
Yeah.
So they get pulled over and get spread eagles. Like, oh my God.
Right.
You know who I am.
Right. I'm in a gated community. I'm the first Negro out here.
Right. Okay. I don't know what that means to anybody, but okay.
But what I'm saying is, in her situation, if she had insurance and God, she lost a child, whatever. I mean, maybe if she had insurance on that first child, Kenneka wouldn't have been in that environment to go somewhere else.
Yeah, but it's just
shoulda, coulda, woulda.
Yeah, but it's just something that's not. We know, because like I said, as a life insurance agent, I went to a lot of people's neighborhoods. I wasn't the type of. In fact, I worked in our neighborhoods mostly, so I know most of those people had somebody talk to them about life insurance. And listen, life insurance agents has the reputation of a used car salesman. And I say that to say, I know life insurance agents are aggressive. So I know that I can bet you $1 to a donut. At least 10 agents have talked to Kenneka's mom about life insurance. For whatever reason, she didn't see that it was important. She saw other things being important, which normally what we do in our community, we see other things being important. Like as Christmas is coming up, most people go out and spend hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of dollars on stuff that'll perish.
And will pay for it with their tax refund.
Opposed to saying, you know what, if I'm going to get you a Christmas gift, I'm going to get you the gift of life insurance for a whole year. And the next year, I'm going to pay down the premium again for another year.
Yeah, or remember back in the day, Christmas would come and you had that Uncle Gus would send you that savings bond.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, but a lot of times people don't even know what bonds are.
I know, it's so sad.
You know, if you're gonna get a gift for somebody, get something they could use.
But they know Cardi B. They know
right, yeah,
Lil
Bodak
Wayne,
Yellow and all this other stuff.
They know all that stuff, but when it comes to the finances, and then when something happens, God forbid, and trust me, I'm not bashing anybody. That's why we're talking about this. Please put insurance. If you live in those type of environments,
and even
if your
if
kids
you
are
don't live
involved,
in those environments, you
right,
just get life insurance.
Right, but if you're in an environment where your child is constantly being harassed by the police or whatever, put some insurance on it.
Yeah, you know, it just, I don't know, it's sad. We are just conditioned to not think that stuff is important. Or, you know, I've even heard people say, well, I'm going to be dead. Why I care about some life insurance? Shoot, that's on them. Yeah, but it's like, would you want somebody to leave that type of burdens for you?
And then it's on society, too, because think about it. While you're living off the welfare, who do you think's paying for that?
Yeah, I mean, if somebody's going to have to cry and stress over getting you in the ground because you're like, I'm going to be dead. I don't care what they do with my body. You know, that's unfair. I mean, it really is, especially if you have kids, as what Donovan's saying, you have children. It is irresponsible of you to not at least have life insurance on yourself. Because especially if you have younger kids, like when my daughter was younger, I had a lot of life insurance on myself because at the time she hadn't finished school. And if I was to die that day, I would have wanted her to be able to have her college education paid for. I would have wanted her to live a decent life. I wouldn't have wanted her to have to go from here to there and, you know, my family to beg and, you know, to fight who's going to take care of her. I wanted them to be able to fight over damn, she left a nice life insurance. I'll take care of her.
Well, the funny thing is, you know, I have like several different life insurance policies, and I've always had it since I was in the military, since I was younger. I'm fairly in okay health. Put it like this: I don't even let my family know how much insurance I have on myself.
Yeah, because I don't want to have to be
I don't want to be bumped over in an accident.
Call me where you been and come knock on the door and bell.
Yeah, or you know, I'm in this accident. You know,
right.
And I'm not saying my family would do that. I'm just saying.
Right.
Whenever my mom asked me about it, I said, "Well, Mom, if something happens to me, the safe is over here." And
but
it's
you
on
know
this
what?
disc.
Why are you joking about that? I've sat down with people who say that too. Why? Nah, if I get some life insurance, she might kill me. But I'm serious. They would be that serious. I get some life insurance. They might try to kill me. I'm like, you was a paranoid ass individual.
No, like I said, I don't give the number. I just tell my mom, there's a life insurance policy. It is in the safe, or you know, it's on this disc. It's in this file. I keep it in several different areas in case you know they can find it.
Right. Well, yeah, and that's the thing too.
And they're going to be very surprised.
Like, this motherfucker.
Yeah.
I'm just playing.
No, they'll be like, damn.
He did a mommy dearest song. I said, nothing for you.
Hey, one thing I will say. To Bell and Misty. Yes, one thing I will say. I am giving a significant amount of money to my to the ASPCA for the animals.
Like Paris Hilton and them granddaddy did, but then they end up fighting and
getting
that money back.
That
dude was like, I ain't leaving y'all motherfuckers nothing.
Right.
I'm giving it all to charity.
Yes. No, a lot of people do that. I mean, because, you know, you want your kids to be strong by themselves. I mean, I'm a self-made man. You know.
Yeah, but God damn it, I'm not going to leave my daughter $1 time I make
no, and that's true.
Yeah.
If I had a daughter, I probably think like that. But I have sons, and I want you to be a man.
I mean,
and
that's have a son.
And that is exactly why if you really notice why I'm like so alpha, you know, male shy am, is because I'm like, no, I did it. You know, boom, boom. You can't
okay, but come on. You a croak. You're not gonna leave. You ain't gonna do no mommy dearest on them.
No, I'm not gonna do that. No,
I'm gonna leave you the hard time I had.
No, but I'm not gonna let my children know and think, oh, well, all I gotta do is wait it out.
Well, no, see, you put that banana peel over there.
Yeah, no, just wait it out. You know, he'll die. No, I'm not gonna let them know that. I let them know I don't plan to leave you shit. You know, I don't plan to.
Well, no, I know you ain't that damn cool. Oh my God.
But yeah, and that's what I think we need to start doing to our young male men. Make them. How can you sit there and say, well, you know, I'm in the hood. I gotta do what I gotta do. Well, goddamn, it's the same thing in life.
Right, if you just apply that effort to something, you know, like a business or something, right? I mean, a legal business,
right? You know, I mean, you know, that's the way I see it.
No, you're absolutely right.
If putting it, you know, in a situation, anybody's going to do what they need to do.
Like my father said, God has not shortchanged you to where you can't do what everybody else is doing to be successful.
Exactly. Guys, please do not forget DK, 3 p.m. Facebook Live. She's talking about a lot of good stuff. If you want to get awakened, tune into her show. And if you miss it, she's on YouTube. Just look for DK. Can't miss it. It's a great show. We're going to put some more stuff out. Daryl Terrell's 2 Cents, a new podcast, and Daryl Terrell Times on Facebook, as well as the Donovan Saadiq Show. We're going to be talking about a lot of stuff as well. You guys take care. Be safe. It is November. Thanksgiving's coming up. Get those sweet potato pies ready.
Make mine vegan.
We'll see you guys next week.
Deuces.